All right, guys. So, very interesting development this week, and I had to bring it to you. This was from the qualifier for a tournament that is $20,000 involved, hosted by a Chinese sponsor. Just $20,000 out of the blue, and a bunch of people are trying to qualify for it, right? And so we've got Sir Heliquin. Sir Heliquin is actually the highlight guy for NAC and also Hidden Cup 5, so I know him quite well. And he's been on the grind. He's around 2,200, 2,300, and really aggressive, solid player. And solid, aggressive players want to play in Arabia tournaments, right? So I don't know what his expectations were, but that's him here in the red, and he's playing as the Britons. His opponent is Solana to the Moon, otherwise known as Niaz. Now, I never knew this individual as Niaz. I'd never seen Niaz's name around, so there's a little bit of mystery about this individual. But I did see this player play before. And I played this player one time, and it was in Empire Wars settings. They went Bengalis, Fast Castle. They did the Ratha thing. Basically, they did everything that Phosphoru does, but it was Empire Wars, right? And I remember being like, that worked because I didn't expect it. But then also thinking, I'm never going to make a video about this guy because he said, nice try though, after he beat me. And it's like, I don't know how this individual meant it, but the whole nice try though, I don't know. On the particular day, it didn't sit all that well with me, right? And so I was like, okay, whatever. Someone's just using Phosphoru strats. Not that really that big a deal. I kind of forgot about it, right? So I was looking at the qualifier results. And I was looking at, who won here or there. And I saw that Heliquin played up against Solana to the Moon. And I saw Solana did pretty decently. So I said, hold on a second. I need to watch those games. I need to see what happened. Because I played Heliquin recently. We had a game where I'm not even kidding. Over 600 villagers died, right? Crazy long Arabia game is very competitive. And this was their first game. Okay, so imagine this. So Solana to the Moon, not a player Heliquin knows all that well. I don't think they faced each other ever before. This isn't a player there's been videos on. This isn't a player that people know. And he is also lower rated than Heliquin, right? So Heliquin's like, I'm going to play all the standard Arabia stuff, go for those super quick up times and try and be aggressive. So, anyways, Solana to the Moon here, or Niaz, whichever one we're calling him. I think Solana's like some type of cryptocurrency or something. He's pushing in lots of deer, or zebra, I guess, getting as much food as possible. This Arabia generation gave elephants, which is actually very nice because you get a bit of extra food as well. 3 on wood for now, and then a couple houses and palisades. This all looks fairly standard, right? Like you look at this right now, it looks like it's going to be a scout build. On the other side here, Heliquin planning very much so to go up quickly. It seems. And Heliquin is also pushed in lots of deer. The meta on Arabia definitely revolves around fast up times and lots of army, right? So Heliquin certainly hoping to accomplish that. 18 pop with Britons is a little crazy, but the Britons could probably get away with that. They do collect their sheep a little bit faster, so it certainly feels pretty smooth, it seems. And yep, 8 going to wood. Still villagers underneath the TC to bring in food. The plan is to get the wood then for the barracks and the stable. The Heliquin off to find the opponent. Off to see what the opponent's up to. And actually, I just noticed, if you just saw on the minimap, there was actually a signal from blue, which I have to imagine was a misclick, but he did actually basically signal his own base. But anyways, you'll notice villagers are headed to stone. Pretty crazy situation here. Villagers headed to stone. And so again, I've seen him play one game. He kind of modeled after Phosphoru a little bit. I played him in one game, which was Empire Wars, which is a bit different. You start with so many vills. But I never did really thorough research until now. There's one thing that he's done a bit differently than Phosphoru, and he's scouting already. Sometimes Phosphoru won't take that risk. But it's 21 vills in the Dark Age here for Solana. Game 1 of important qualifier. And I don't know if you guys play tourneys or whatever, but at this level, man, these guys are ready to kill. They're ready to kill. There's a level of intensity to it. And you think you know what you're expecting. And then you see this. Now, I think Helliquid should know in some ways what that means, depending on if he's watching the videos or not. He may not want to watch this one, but I mean, he knows I exist, right? I just don't know what frequency of my videos he's actually watching. And it's just really interesting to see what happens here. So, Solana kind of aware that the opponent could be aggressive, just drops a couple Palisades to play it safe. And is clearly planning some type of fast castle. There's the stable up for Helliquid. The plan, of course, is to make scouts. Second scout's going to be on the way here soon. A couple villagers headed over here to take some hunt as well for some good food eco. Some farms are going to be mixed in as well. And yeah, like, at the moment, there's really nothing to be done. No damage to be found here at Blue's base. Now, it is possible that maybe, like let's talk about this under the assumption that Helliquid didn't know that this was going to be fast castle up until the opponent hit feudal. Now he knows. You see the blacksmith, you should know. The market would pretty much confirm it. Blue has shown up to Red's base and is just casually attacking a house. And right now, Helliquid's probably thinking, well, where can I find damage? Meanwhile, some wood is sold. Some stone is sold. Blue is on the way to the next stage. Blue hasn't lost a villager yet. And here comes the tower. Now, this is like, a lot of people are going to say, like, well, I think you need to take this individual off of stone fast. I found that if you tower too early and you don't have army there, you can't actually catch the vills as they run away. So a combination of the two is really good. And over here, these villagers still being protected just by some walls. Villagers that were on the berries pulled away. They're going back to the TC. Tower is up. And now you're just like, oh man, I hope I get these kills. You've got the tower garrisoned with 4 vills. Panic time for Blue. The mining camp has to get deleted. And so, the hope here, if you're Blue, is that you collected enough stone to get back to the TC, right? If you can get that 650, you're good. And it's at 649. It's at 649. Oh, no, it's at 651. There was a villager or two in there that had the stone. So, the stone has now been denied. Helliquid's going to mine that stone. Helliquid's got a lot more villagers, and Helliquid's just lurking around here with these scouts, looking for kills. But it's going to be really complicated to get those kills if most of the villagers are in and around the town center here. Back at home, farming eco's there. Villagers headed to gold. Maybe we'll see some archers from Helliquid. These villagers still taking hunt. I mean, it is a good economy. This has been a really solid scout rush. The timings have been pretty good. The idle time's been low. The execution's been great. And now Helliquid probably sees this castle. Now, this castle is a little bit different than what I'm used to. Typically, what Phosphoru does is he will place the castle somewhere that protects the wood and also protects the gold, right? But you're going to see a slight difference of approach here from Blue. First game in a best of 3, or best of 5, excuse me. And this is what Red sees, and Red says, you know what, I got to get some value now. I got to kill something now. Kills 3 villagers. Really good damage. Is going to have to run away with these 4. And, well, that castle's going up, guys. Now, it's time to panic. If you're Red, this is not the time to chill out, okay? This is time to panic because this unit that Solana now has access to, which he's actually continuing to produce vills, so he can't produce any just yet. He's just got 1 in queue. It's very strong against Feudal Age army, very strong against vills, very strong against archers, which is kind of the crazy thing, right? It's an anti-archer unit. You're up against Britons here, so that's certainly, like, worked out. And Blue's scout is around. Like, Blue's an intelligent player, and Blue's like, all right, you can see he's panic walling. How many vills do we have walling here? 8? 8 vills walling here. These 4 came home from the stone. These 2 are walling. This is still wide open. Blue lost the scout, though, so Blue won't know that. And this side gets walled. Now, what's really crazy about the Golem is, again, it's high pierce armor, but it actually does pass-through damage. It's not a bonus you really feel that much. But, if units are clumped up, basically, Golems are doing damage to more than 1 unit. They don't have range like a Kamiyuk, but they do like pass-through damage, which can be awkward. And I mean, it's got 9 attack right now, and it's got 3 base Pierce armor, so that's something. Golem is punching through this pretty quickly, and again, panic time for red. And you could tell, like, he kind of misplaced some walls here, and had to place new ones, and then is looking back over here, and there's just Golems just knocking on the door. Knocking on the door, knocking on the door, but Harlequin will think, if I just make it to castle, I could maybe make some knights against this. I should have the better economy, which is true. Now, what is really cool to see, you look back at Blue's base, Blue actually produced some vills. Like, Blue has actually added farms. Blue actually has economy, and I'm a big Phosphoru guy. But, you know, like, Phosphoru is at the level he's at because of his strategy, and obviously some executional aspects as well. Don't get me wrong. He's got a really good mind for it. But, like, if we have a player, if there's a player who is really good in all aspects of the game already and tries to use these strategies, this is kind of the result. And this is just really cool. We've got stone walls going up now. Stone walls are your friend here, and you just hope that you can put out all the fires. Harlequin is sweating. Harlequin is nervous. Harlequin's going to finish these walls, though. That's good action. Harlequin sees this, repairing here. Oh, man, life is good again. And then these Golems broke through. Oh, man, they're getting attacked at 3 different spots, which is not something he was expecting. Just completely missed this area. And the Golems are through. We've got a forward siege workshop as well. These other Golems have been told they're going to show up. And Harlequin hoping to make knights to stop this. We're at 20 minutes on Arabia in a freaking tourney here. And, well, the Golems are in, and the Golems are going to dive. And this is now quick wall practice for Harlequin. Let's see. Could he get the quick walls down? Nice quick walls there. Not bad. The gold's protected. The wood's protected. Very well done. Knights in queue. Knights are important. You could see the panic is set in as well because he's got so many vills in queue right now. Yeah, won't actually have as much food to work with. And look at these Golems go. These Golems are breaking through the barracks and everything very quickly. Finding villagers on the farms. The knights are now out. Here, these scouts are trying to snipe any sieges. There's just so much stuff happening. The forward villager did end up going down, by the way. There was a villager here that built the siege workshop. But guys, there's 20 Golems on the field. We are at 21 minutes in the game. There's already 20 of these things. And the Scorpion is just here to kill vills. That's kind of the interesting addition. It's not actually here as a counter to any units. It is just a ranged unit to attack and kill villagers. Well, that's why Harlequin needed to get the snipe. Still has more villagers, still has more resources collected. But I mean, the idle time, right? The idle time's insane. The Golems don't care about the TC fires, so they just stay underneath the TC and dive. And, well, Blue wins the first game. And I just don't think this was something that Red ever expected. To have this in your pocket in your very first game in a tournament is pretty wild. And, yeah, Solana ended up winning 3-0. Now, what's interesting about him, again, I'm not sure what to call him. Do I call him Neoz? It's his AKA. I don't know. This is his username, so we'll call him this. Game 2 was very short. Harlequin tried to lame. It didn't work out too well. The game ended quickly. Game 3, he played standard, right? He played standard. He played as the Slavs. He went scouts and lots of army and eco. So, like, he seems to be very good with standard approaches, but also uses this here. And it's not actually the first time that we've seen this. Even maybe a better example, which I did cast in the tournament. Here you could actually see footage of freaking Andy building a castle with the Portuguese against Leary in their Warlord series. So, like, you know, this strategy all kind of started with Phosphoru, in my opinion. It's really cool to see that it's kind of spread around even to the highest ranks. I think it says a lot about the strat. And just the importance of timings, man. This also may be a strategy that you guys are facing all the time now. And if that's a particularly frustrating thing, I would like to apologize. But yeah, I thought I'd bring this to you because I'll keep an eye on this individual as a player as well. Because like I said, months ago, he did play me and do something similar. So clearly has a mind for it and likes to, you know, try different things. Frustrating one for Heliquin, but yet it just ended up being a bad matchup as well, right? Like, Britons are an archer civ, and so to, you know, have a civilization which doesn't have the best knights and relies on archers against a Gulam was always going to be pretty painful. I do wonder how this game goes, though, if he has some stone walls here. Like, I think if he gets up to enough knights, maybe a couple scorpions, and his whole eco isn't idle, he might have actually been able to defend from this. But the pressure and the timing was just way too insane and difficult to deal with there. So anyways, short video today. Hope you guys enjoyed. I got some cool stuff coming to the channel every day, of course. And thanks for the love. Seriously, we are quickly approaching some wild numbers. I always pay attention to how many views this channel has had and all that stuff. Well over 100 million views now on all my videos. I don't know. But wherever you guys have come in from, however long you guys have been watching, thanks for sticking around. It means a lot. I'm very blessed to do this, to hang out with you guys. Not really hang out, but, you know, produce content for you guys and have such an amazing community is not something I will ever take for granted. So thanks again, everybody, for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll keep an eye out for more, and we'll see you next time.